are screens, the new pacifiers, right? And what is the role of parenting stress and parental attitudes for children's screen time in early childhood? So let's have a look at this article.
Yeah, so in late 2023, there was a study that was done, like Heiko mentioned, on how parents' attitudes towards devices and also their parental stress levels could impact the child's screen time. So the abstract goes, screen media are increasingly shaping our everyday lives, including those of young children. Among other reasons, parents might use screen media as a problem-oriented coping strategy to reduce parenting stress levels. Furthermore, parental attitudes towards children's screen media use have been shown to predict screen time in young children. The present study examines the intertwined roles of parenting stress and parental attitudes towards two children's screen time throughout early childhood. Parents of children up to age 3 participated in 4 assessments within 10 months. Parents reported their level of parenting stress, their attitude towards young children's screen media use, and their child's screen time at each assessment. Across all measurement time points, results indicated that both parenting stress and positive parental attitudes are positively associated with children's screen time. Furthermore, parental attitudes were found to strengthen the link between stress and children's screen time at 2 of the 4 measurement time points. Recommendations for children's screen time should consider parental stress and suggest alternative strategies for coping with parenting stress. Well, that was quite a mouthful.
It's a lot of stress.
Yeah, a lot of tongue twisters in there. So I guess they're trying to see the relationship between, what does the parent think about these devices? Like, what is their attitude? Like, what is their perception? That's one. Is it used to, like, does the parents think that this child is going to use this device in a positive way? Like, oh, they will be able to learn, or they will be able to, see something positive online. Or is their attitude negative, where the parent thinks, oh, this is going to be a really bad use of my child's time because it's going to have potential side effects and health consequences that obviously we don't want the child to have. So that's one aspect. And then the other one is the parenting stress. So they're checking whether, if the parent is stressed, does that parent tend to give a device to the child to like distract him and, in this way reduce the parental stress.
Yeah. It's a lot of,
Yeah.
So basically this comes down to how parents use these devices as a coping mechanism, right? And what I was saying before is that, parents, sometimes lack that support, the community support, the government support to alleviate their stressful lives, right? A lot of times now, both parents need to work, come home late, preparing dinners, supper, whatever, the lunch, and sometimes they don't have time to monitor their kids. Thus, that creates this environment in which, who else is going to parent the kid? The screen, right?
Yeah. So that's why they're comparing like the screens to the new pacifier. It's like, oh, my kid needs a distraction. Here's a screen.
Yeah. Just put it in, they get pacified.
And I one of our guests one time talked about how like the screens is like the new smoking. For adults, I kind of see that, right? For the kids, like the pacifier, but for the adults, like smoking. Like before, like I remember so many people used to smoke, and now that kind of died off a little bit because we know how bad it is for you. But there's still a lot of people that smoke.
Yeah.
But like now it's like the screen. Just everyone is just like on their phones like 24/7.
Yeah. It's almost worse in a way. Like, I don't know. Yeah. The health effects aren't as
Immediate.
Or as a parent.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like maybe health effects directly. It's more mental effects and just broader cultural effect. And everyone's just kind of like,
I wonder what like arguably is worse, like smoking or like excessive screen use.
I mean, some clickbait titles online will be like 3 hours of screen time is linked with cancer.
Yeah. Who knows though?
Well,
it can be, I'm sure.
It could be, but that's the thing. Like the link with screen time and cancer, that's a bit stretched there, but it's like, what steps does it take to get to that? If 3 hours of screen time at night, yeah, you're sacrificing sleep, then that obviously could cause.
Yeah. I guess it also depends on the person, right? I mean, some people, they could smoke their entire lives and barely have any, health
Yeah.
repercussions. And maybe some people, they could use these screens all the time and it doesn't really do
Not
anything to
have an
them.
issue. Um, yeah. I'm trying to think, like when we're younger, right? We play a lot of video games, we're in front of screens a lot, or even with computers. I was on my computer like a lot, right? But I never had these negative perceptions of it, right? It's more when you grow and you realize, oh, this might not be really good for me. It's like you have this sort of negative reaction to it. Like, oh, fuck, why am I using this computer all day? Oh, why am I on my phone, right? Instead of maybe just be like, okay, I use it, all right,
Yeah.
next kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe
Because when
maybe
you're
our
uneducated,
attitude.
yeah. When you're uneducated towards a subject, you're not going to know, like, you're not going to care. You're going to just be mindless and like, oh, okay, I was on my phone for 8 hours. Who cares?
But what I mean is ignorance bliss?
Well, in certain cases, but here I'm not sure if it's really bliss because like yeah, you could be mindless in the sense where like you don't know the effects and you could be on your phone all day and just put it away, then do it again, but you don't know what that did to you.
Okay. I think what it comes down to is like, what do you value, right? Because as a child, you don't value much. You're just like, I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And so for you, 8 hours in front of the computer playing games is not bad because that's what you value. But as you grow up, you're like, okay, I need to find a partner, or maybe create a family, maybe a career. Oh shit, time's running out. Like, what do I? And then so this becomes a negative thing, right? You get a negative reaction. Shit, I spent 4 hours on this screen. That's not good, right? So
Yeah.
like our attitudes towards these things change.
But you don't think that some people are not so like enthralled into like the video games and the media that even as they age and get to that maturity level, they're not just still all encompassed with the games and they're just still in that
Like
world.
they're still like playing 8 hours a day or something. But yeah, okay, they are. But what is their attitude towards? Do they still see it as a positive thing?
Yeah, I wonder. It's a good question. Like, I'm not really a gamer, but like, I wonder if like these hardcore gamers they ever like they wonder like, man, what am I doing to myself? Or they're just like, I don't care.
But
Like,
but
this is
that's what
fun.
I mean. It's like, who am I to tell to someone who I don't know, does his 9 to 5, comes home, eats some whatever meal, and then plays the rest of the night, and that's his life, and that doesn't bother him,
Yeah,
right?
but what if he doesn't have a 9 to 5 and he doesn't
Oh,
have the
okay.
9 to 5 because he's playing games? That happens.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. People who are just at home or just receive benefits or something, or
Yeah.
and then they just play games. Yeah, but again, maybe that might be enough for them. Some people just live off on the bare minimum, or they don't aspire to much, right? It's like what I'm trying to come down to: is it objectively bad, or is it just bad because it doesn't
Yeah.
align with?
Yeah, you're looking at this from like a philosophical
Yeah, I'm
perspective,
kind of
almost
bringing it.
like what is our purpose in life? Like if the guy's purpose is to stay in front of a screen and play games all day,
Okay.
okay, so be it.
Okay, okay. Let me tell you like this joke from this Armenian sketch videos that I really love, and I've showed you a few of these. It's this duo in Armenia. They've done like these really funny sketch videos. But anyways, so there's this video where there's this guy. He's on the sidewalk, just like laying down, taking in the sun beside the trees. And you see this rich guy comes with his Mercedes, comes out of the car. He's like, "What are you doing? Just lying down there?" He's like, "I'm just chilling, relaxing." He's like, "What do you mean? Go work a bit, make $10, make $100." Then he's like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, then with $100 you could make more of that, maybe 1,000, maybe 10,000. Then you can open your company." He's like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, then you could have workers, then have more money, make more profit." He's like, "Why?" Because do all of this. And then at the end, he's like, "Well, because one day you could go to like a nice place and relax."
I know that's gonna. Yeah, I saw that
right?
coming. Yeah.
And then just have freedom to do what you want. He's like, "Well, I'm already doing that.
I'm already on the floor.
I'm already living the life," which is kind of true, right? A lot of people pursue these, goals of money and status and whatnot for them to just want to have freedom. So it's
Yeah.
like, what is your goal at the end of the day?
Yeah, for me the funniest is like when people they have all this money and then they just go like on a year-round cruise or something. It's like, that's life. You're just on a cruise, like you're sitting down, like
Well, like 60K a year just for like a
yeah,
cruise or something.
you're just on
Like the whole salary
like
for a cruise.
your entire life savings for a cruise. I like cruises. I've been on them, but like I don't know. I don't see myself like on a year-round cruise and just sitting on the top deck.
What? Like, are there really boats that go year long?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yeah, they're like year-round cruises. They like go around the world.
Oh, okay, they stop at like different places.
Yeah.
And, man, that must cost
Cost a fortune, yeah. It's pretty wild. Anyways, we got sidetracked a bit.
No, yeah.
But yeah, it's just how do we get to this point?
I don't
We're
know.
just
Yeah.
talking about your Armenian comedian.
Yeah, comedians. Yeah. How do we get to here?
We were talking about. Oh yeah, I remember. I said, is that all of life's purpose, just to stay in front of the screen? And then you brought up the joke.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So
that's what we got there.
just kind of what is it at the end of the day that the person values? You know, it's like your attitude towards it. Is that what creates a negative impact on you, or are they negatively impacting you? You know, like smoking, right? We could say objectively it's bad, but some people are like, you know, the exception. They smoke the whole life and nothing happens, right?
Yeah. Let's maybe ask GPT what it thinks.
GPT, what it thinks of what?
Let's ask it. What is worse, excessive screen time or smoking? I want to see what
Honestly,
it
dude, what do you think it's gonna say?
answers. It's gonna say smoking's bad. But I just want to see the reasoning.
Okay, I mean, we could try here.
Let's just try.
Both smoking and excessive screen time, consumption of digital content can have negative impacts on health, but they affect different aspects of well-being. Smoking is well documented as a major cause of various serious health problems, including lung cancer, heart disease, stroke, and respiratory issues. It not only affects the smoker but also those exposed to secondhand smoke. The addictive nature of nicotine can lead to long-term dependency and difficulty quitting. Excessive screen time and consumption of digital content can lead to a range of issues as well, particularly concerning mental health, physical health, and social well-being. Prolonged screen time can contribute to eye strain, disrupted sleep patterns, sedentary behavior leading to obesity and related health problems, and potentially addiction-like behaviors towards technology. It can also impact cognitive development, attention span, and social skills, especially in children and adolescents. Comparing the two is difficult because they affect different aspects of health and well-being, and their severity can vary depending on factors such as frequency and duration of exposure. However, both smoking and excessive screen time, consumption of digital content can be harmful, and it's important for individuals to be mindful of their habits and seek to maintain a healthy balance.
Wow. Okay, so things are pretty bad. Honestly, the screen time sounded worse.
Yeah, with like all these different, you know,
Yeah.
effects. Well, that's the thing. It's like screen time can lead to like a myriad of, you know.
Yeah, but if you think about it, it comes down to the same thing, because let's say you say, okay, smoking leads to cancer, but you could also say screen time leads to poor sleeping habits, and poor sleeping habits also lead to cancer.
Well, yeah,
so you
that's-
could extrapolate it down to the same thing. So
You could.
yeah, so at the end of the day, anything in like overconsumption is just bad, right?
It's just, yeah, that's what it comes down to. It's the balance, right? The balance in life. That's what we all need.
Yeah, we strive for that on this show.
That's kind of our main, you know, objective of finding balance. But yeah, interesting discussion here.
Yeah. So I don't think we really looked at the results of this, did we?
Did we look at the results?
No, we just read the abstract. So yeah, let's take a look here. So conclusions and directions of further research. So it says overall, both parenting stress and parental attitude towards young children's screen media use were associated with children's screen time. In addition, more positive parental attitudes towards children's screen time media use in early childhood tended to strengthen the link between parenting stress and children's screen time. Yeah, so basically
we
the
kinda got the
attitude
gist.
also matters, right, of the parent. So if the parent thinks it's good, then the kid will end up using it more. If they think it's bad, then they won't.
Okay. Makes sense. I mean, yeah, that's what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these studies, they're kind of like common sense, but at the same time, there's like nothing to back up the common sense. So like someone like goes like in a deep dive.
It
on
needs
something.
to actually do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. You know, that's how science and research should be. It's not, you know, "Oh, I think we can all agree on this." No, it's like, did you study it? Do you have the findings to back this up?
Yeah, it's always about the concrete like evidence and the numbers and, you know, the things that really prove the point, and
Yeah.
not just like hypothesis. Like
Because that's what it
stipulated,
is.
They stipulated their three hypotheses at the beginning of the paper too. Like we didn't go through those, but it's basically that like, you know, the more the parent's attitude and stress level is high towards these devices, then the higher the screen time of the kid would be.
Yeah.